Ladies and gents, hello and welcome back here to the HGC Crucible for 2018. We're moving over to North America, and we've got No Tomorrow and PSISTORM Gaming duking it out. My name is Solid Jacob, here with my co-caster Kala, and it's gonna be a good series here.
I cannot wait to get these games underway. Like you said, PSISTORM Gaming versus No Tomorrow. PSISTORM, for me, they have grown so much in the past few months, and this is really their opportunity to showcase where they're at as a team. Since bringing on Elheim, since kind of making their changes, they have absolutely dominated within the open division, and this is their chance, and I cannot wait to get started.
Let's take a look at the schedule that we have here for our series and the weekend. As you can see, Monkey Menagerie has been eliminated for the first time ever. E-Punks, an open division team, sweeping a pro league team. That is insane.
Yeah, and of course we had the pleasure to watch those games. E-Punks looked so darn good every single game. You know, it was only a couple where they were really kind of playing from a deficit, but some of those games, they were just absolutely commanding in that matchup.
And being able to turn around those last two games the way they did, mega impressive. So PSISTORM, you know, they have No Tomorrow as their opponent, barring them from that pro league spot. And I mean, there's a lot to say about PSISTORM Gaming.
There absolutely is.
Just kind of starting about it. I mean, after that, tomorrow we got Roll20 and Holy Bananas and Simplicity going up versus Scythe Esports. But I'm just so pumped about our first series because if you don't know anything about PSISTORM Gaming, this is an organization that brought 4 players from Southeast Asia, put them in a team house in Maryland, Virginia, I think it's Virginia actually, and they're living together, living and breathing Heroes of the Storm. It's just so cool to see that level of commitment just trying to make it through the open division.
Absolutely. They have everything that they could possibly want to be a successful team. They really do. They've got the environment. They've got the players. You know, playing against a bunch of those members in Hero League even, they'll body you if you step out of line every once in a while. Like, they're fantastic players. But yeah, they have everything that they need in order to be successful, and we're going to find out today.
Yeah, let's take a look at the matchup video between these two teams to see how they feel about their series coming up.
Honestly, I believe that either teams deserve to win the HGC, but for me, I believe PSISTORM Gaming deserves to win because we have traveled so far and we've put effort, and this is actually a gamble for us since we come from a different country, right? And we have nothing here except for HUTs only. And our dedication for HUTs is 100% here.
Personally, I'm friends with Chin and one of their coaches, Legend, on No Tomorrow, so this series is going to be pretty heartbreaking regardless of the outcome. It's unfortunate that we have to play a good friend of mine in for the qualification spot for HGC, but we're going to play our hearts out regardless, and hopefully we win.
For playing against PSISTORM, I think our approach to this set is really just to make sure we're playing our game and playing it the best we possibly can. We have looked at their previous sets, but realistically, I feel as long as we play to the best of what we want to do, then we should be able to easily take the set. We have a storied history of Crucible successes on our team, and I believe that experience is going to make it incredibly difficult to bring down. No Tomorrow as a team has had a lot of struggles in the past year, but at the end of the day, everyone on this roster are fighters. There's not a single one of them who's going to sit down and roll over and lose our spot. You're going to have to drag me away from my computer if you want me to lose this match. So I don't see a world where you don't see Casanova, Tomster, any of these other players in the HGC.
We've got the big gamble of PSISTORM and No Tomorrow holding their ground, or attempting to, here in this series. And man, there's a lot of, like you mentioned, storylines just between the rivalries. We saw, you know, Jin having that relationship with Elheim, being former teammates. I mean, they're in each other's heads, and considering the shot calling that's going to happen, I think it's going to make for a really weird series when it comes to the draft.
Both of those videos just got me fired up. They are all passionate players. I know a lot of them personally, and yeah, just everything about this whole situation is just so fantastic. And yeah, you know, they were talking about it is a little bit heartbreaking for one of the two teams. But at the same time, from our perspective, we are ready to watch some absolutely incredible Heroes of the Storm. And yeah, I've said it multiple times already, but I cannot wait to get started. Game number one's gonna be
do
huge.
it. Let's get in there and find out what map is going to be played first for this best of 7 series. Ooh. Starting out spicy.
Okay. These bans.
Towers of Doom. We see that it's going to be, what, Braxis and Cursed Hollow as the bans.
Yeah, No Tomorrow banning off that Braxis.
Considering the last Towers game we saw today, the precedent for chaos has been set for sure. But all right, so when we consider the matchup, and we consider just the way that these teams draft, and the fact that this is a new patch with Tyrande changes coming in, we're seeing a lot more double support. Who do you think has the edge in the draft, just mentally?
In the draft, it's so hard to say because I don't know what these teams are playing right now. But that's the fantastic part about jumping into this game because we are just about to find out, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, No Tomorrow versus PSISTORM Gaming on Towers of Doom. And as far as the upper hand goes, I honestly do not know. Both of these teams play different style of Heroes of the Storm. I do not expect this Medivh to basically ever get through. It is a very consistent ban for No Tomorrow, no matter what team that they are playing against. But PSISTORM, what's their ban going to be? You know, No Tomorrow, they play a lot of pretty much everything. They like the Brightwing, they'll play the Hammer, they'll even throw in a Malthael, a Zeratul, a Maiev in there every once in a while. We just have to find out what PSISTORM do not want to play against here in this game number 1 on Towers.
It's going to be Maiev.
Makes sense.
Yep, very powerful hero controlling that front space, especially with the follow-ups that exist in the meta right now. There's just so many things that are powerful. 2 more bans. Tyrande has been removed.
And I think Tyrande plays to that blow-up style that PSISTORM love to run, you know? They'll play the Anubarak, they'll play that Greymane. And you throw Tyrande in their hands, too, people are dying.
Very true. Easy follow-up, that Lunar Flare, very safe to do. A lot of healing output. Works well with so many different heroes. Next ban here, do they go for the supports? Could be the Deckard Cain. Abathur.
Smart choice, especially on this map. One of Abathur's best maps for sure. First pick on that Dahaka. I love it twofold. One, because obviously Abathur being removed from the equation, having it on your own side is very powerful global on this map. Number 2, I feel like Enavir bodies everybody on that hero. So the fact that No Tomorrow kind of got the double fold pick there, I think that's fantastic.
He's one of the big comfort picks for them for sure, and especially on this map. Something that we've seen them play a ton of. And, you know, obviously we'll see Enavir play the Blaze, we'll see the Sonya coming out as well, and more. But Whitemane and Yrel are going to be the first 2 picks. That should be Enavir's hero.
Yeah, so opening with, you know, so much sustain. You've got armor in the Whitemane. Oh my gosh, what is happening?
Those are the 3 big comfort picks that when I think of PSISTORM,
yes,
it's Greymane, Anubarak, Dahaka.
Yes.
And all 3 have been sniped by No Tomorrow. They've done their homework.
Are they getting in the heads of PSISTORM Gaming, or is this just the meta that No Tomorrow love to play? We're going to find out, I'm sure. Next ban here for PSISTORM. You've got the Yrel, you've got the Whitemane, you see this Anub Greymane. I think, as you mentioned earlier, perhaps a support lockout here when you already have your own would be a wise choice. And it's going to be the Deckard Cain ban. I think that is a fantastic choice.
Yeah, I dig it 100%. I think it's going to give them at least the edge in that fact. Whitemane has a lot of good pairings as well. Looking at the ban here, maybe they want to restrict Stronger's pool.
Could do, yep. Another one of the massive playmakers, but the Cassia instead. Perhaps that, actually, I guess that's just good with the Greymane there. So I like this ban.
Yep.
You know, we don't know a whole lot about PSISTORM's willingness to play the Cassia, but I'm sure No Tomorrow knows a little bit more than we know about that one. But these next 2 picks, you know, you got the Yrel, you got the Whitemane. You can even move into a double support when you have this Whitemane. Not saying that's what they're going to do, but it's a possibility.
2 seconds left. Committing to the Diablo for Stronger, and then Raynor. So Cassia's off the table. Raynor rises in power.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And the Diablo, of course, honestly, just even making it this far in the draft, the Diablo is pretty surprising to me. And I love it when you throw Stronger on a engagement style hero like this, so this is going to be fantastic. On the other side of No Tomorrow, do you try to do something about this Diablo? Perhaps lock in something that can maybe deal a little bit of damage to his health pool? You need your support here as well, so what's it going to be? Got the Lucio and the Junkrat. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Are the teams on the right side? Because that looks like a PSISTORM draft, right? We see them play, you know, a little bit differently, and obviously the meta is always shifting, but that is a very interesting draft. I mean, obviously Lucio can do quite well with just sustaining and controlling space on this map. Junkrat does the same thing. You've got to worry about the cocoon coming through. Yep. Brushstalker, obviously, to follow up the moment you throw the cocoon out. There's a lot of cool things they can do to control territory, but Phoenix and Raynor will be able to put out a lot of damage on the side of PSISTORM.
Okay, so you've got the Lightning Breath, you've got the Salvo combination, so a lot of synergies there for the draft of PSISTORM Gaming. But honestly, you said it yourself, like that No Tomorrow draft looks like a PSISTORM draft. They were one of the first teams throughout North America to really show us the Anubarak and the Greymane combination. Like, obviously, we've seen that play before, but it kind of made a resurgence through the Open Division. And to see No Tomorrow running it is a little bit odd for me.
This is going to be a very, very fun best-of-7 series. Guys, again, if you do not know PSISTORM Gaming, they have moved across the world to live in NA. We've seen players do that in EU, right? Moving from Australia to join a team in HGC. But they're gambling. They said it themselves on making their way all the way through the Open Division. They have put their lives on hold. They've left their families, and they're competing to make it into the HGC. And this match determines all of their hard work, whether or not it pays off.
And momentum is a huge thing in these series. This is a best-of-7, so once you start getting that 1 win, that 2 win, that can really get into your opponent's heads. Momentum is everything here.
I mean, we just saw the 4-0 sweep from ePunks, and obviously momentum played, you know, an effect in that series.
Yeah.
But yeah, Towers of Doom will be the first map here.
Which is weird.
Predictions.
I think that No Tomorrow's going to take this one. I do. I think that they may have gotten into their opponent's heads draft-wise. I think that they, in that video, showed some bloodthirsty style, and I think it's going to be good.
Okay, I think we're just about ready to rock and roll here for the first game of the series. You can see everybody's excited. Cameraman's like, yeah, let's go, time for the game. I feel the same way. So as soon as the players are ready, we will be rocking and rolling to start out this series. Yeah, I don't know. I really like the adaptation we've seen here for PSISTORM. I think the one thing that when we see them succeed the best, they have those kind of snap engage tanks. Diablo is a very scary hero in the hands of Stronger, and they're going to be able to just kind of set up and try to blow up a single target. We're going to see that repeatedly. How well do you think Lucio does versus the Diablo?
That's the big question. You know, if you're playing on fire, you can use your boop to stop the engagements, but at the same time, it's one of those point-and-click scenarios where Lucio hates playing against that. He likes playing against, you know, the Storm Bolts, where he can juke and jive away from them and stuff like that, but you can't do that against the Diablo. So honestly, it's a skill matchup, which I love. You know, when it's a skill matchup between that tank and the support, it's going to be fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
What are your predictions? What do you think? Give it to us, Jake.
I'm feeling it PSISTORM, honestly. I think they've got a draft that works out for their style. I think it's going to look fantastic, but let's get rolling into game number 1 of our best of 7 series. And on the blue side, that is No Tomorrow. Casanova is going to be here with Tomster. Jay Strite also moving across the region this past year. Jin coming from the Open Division just in the past year, and Akaface rounding out the team.
Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, PSISTORM Gaming on the right in red. We've got NSJ on Raynor, Elheim playing the white main. We got Stronger on Diablo, Hisqua on Phoenix, and Enavir playing Yrel. We got that Feast on Fear for Diablo. I think that's a fantastic choice here, just because sometimes those longer skirmishes over the altars, he can really get some value getting those stuns into walls, getting the flips over. Here comes the rotation top side. No Tomorrow have the Greymane and Anubarak, so frequently they will like to get onto a wall with those beetles just to get a little bit of an experience advantage during the early game.
Yeah, it can actually just do so much damage so quickly. And you know, even as Yrel, you're never going to be safe against a composition like this. A big Junkrat boop could completely just seal your fate. Anubarak having the double stun as well, just for that big setup. Hisqua also has to be super careful with these rotations being a huge threat to Phoenix. Yes, Shield does get him away from a lot of just poke, but obviously the full collapse would be a problem.
Nubrak just looking to farm up some globes during the early game, just controlling this bush as best as possible here. And again, we're going to have to watch very closely this stronger versus Akaface combination. There's the stun, but no follow-up damage. NSJ just walking up, getting some autos in. We are also seeing the ace in the hole. You know, after nerfs, sometimes we'll see a little bit of a difference on that level 1 talent choice, but having this synergy with that lightning breath, I think is a fantastic choice.
Okay, we can see both teams grabbing the sappers right now. Pretty much standard stuff. We've seen very safe posturing from the Phoenix as we need to when the enemies are off the map. Dahaka versus Urel, naturally that matchup is going to be fairly even in the lane phase, but Jin will have that global, which could end up being the, you know, we look at Towers of Doom, and that could just straight up win games.
Yep. Sometimes when you have the global advantage too, you will look to make an invade early on these sappers, but not a play that No Tomorrow is willing to make at this point. And honestly, No Tomorrow has shown already, even in just the past 2 minutes, a lot of respect for PSISTORM Gaming, not making those ambitious plays, just perhaps waiting out for a team fight scenario, just to show that maybe they are the better team fighters. We will find out already a little bit of an experience lead here for No Tomorrow, hitting that level 4 mark just a little bit before their opponents. Wave is coming in topside, so it should be equalized.
Yeah, I don't think any soaks really been missed yet. Phoenix is getting the quicker clear up in mid. The rotation slowed down by the trap here, and that does mean Phoenix has to back away. But yeah, he's well on his path back to towards the wall. Top camp could be considered if somebody decides to rotate. I wonder if we'll see that happen around this altar start, which is now. And yes, we see a lot of bodies moving up there.
That high Inquisitor for white main, you know, that W build, lots of sustain coming through once you hit that level 4 mark. Here we go, No Tomorrow getting a little bit proactive here in the top lane, looking to pick up these sappers for themselves, have that push top lane, and perhaps try to make a play onto bottom or a double play onto top. When you have the global, you can look to press your advantage like this at all points during the game. Yeah,
their layout's pretty wonderful here. I mean, Junkrat does not have to commit to that point. He can stall for an incredible amount of time. We do see the engage here onto Enavir. Stronger is going to step up, consider a shadow charge. The boot from Akaface has been used, getting to the other side, but Dahaka is brush stalking in just over the wall there. Down. Raynor needs to be careful.
Yep, Jin looking to get a drag if he possibly can. Jay Schritt is there as well. Now the rotations from PSISTORM are coming down. I would expect No Tomorrow to sit in this mid-bottom side, yep, just like this, and stop that rotation from coming through to guarantee themselves these caps. And this is the value of having that global, that two-person rotation from No Tomorrow to secure them an extra altar here.
Yeah, very well done. I'd say that was pretty much just perfectly choreographed by them to be able to make sure they had the edge in the bottom lane. So 4 points ahead doesn't mean too much in the grand scheme of things in Towers of Doom, but it's still always good to be able to have the strong start.
Absolutely agree with you here. And of course, once that level 4 has hit with the Junkrat, looking to stack that Taste for Explosions up as best as possible. You know, scaling into that late game, you start to do a lot of damage. Only 8 stacks so far, but of course it is early game, ladies and gentlemen. Level 7's just about to come online. And again, just a sapper trade. The respect we are seeing here is massive. No Tomorrow now looking for the invasion. Again, they have the global. They can look to make this play.
Diablo's there.
Here comes the Brush Stalker. But they're not looking for anything. A little bit late. They could have really made that play if they brush stalked a little bit earlier. Perhaps even had that burrow onto the point to secure it for No Tomorrow, but just not willing to pull the trigger at this point. I want to see some more aggressive plays from this team. You've got the Anub, you've got the Dahaka and the Greymane. You can absolutely make those plays.
Yeah, some sappers making it in, getting some structural damage. Juncast Nova flipped, but the Impale is going to be enough to slow this down. So much sustain from that Whitemane, keeping Stronger looking perfectly healthy. Dahaka should not have the Brush Stalker ready just yet. So they can't be too bold in this moment with Urel in mid.
And this, Jake, is going to be our first time in this entire series where we really see a team fight, because it's a single altar. The global shouldn't play a huge advantage at this moment. So we should be seeing some sort of a skirmish. See how this Whitemane starts to pay off. I love the pick personally.
Okay, I think Urel might have shown it to the minions there. She had actually been hiding in the mid, considered going to soak the top lane, but did not commit to it, just not knowing where Dahaka was at the moment. Wants to be present for the bottom. We do see Whitemane getting the stall on Akaface, slowing them down. Shadow charge in, no flip from Diablo. The boot from Junkrat is a resource used and on cooldown.
Interesting. Alheim putting his W on cooldown there.
You're
Has to be
welcome.
careful about that one. Yep, Dahaka is rotating up top. Perhaps just waiting out a little bit more time. Stronger taking some damage. But the nature of Whitemane, if you aren't heavily contested, you can keep your allies up for such a long period of time. Her sustain is amazing.
She's also getting all the big stalls for the team right now. Akaface again attempting, but Alheim stepping up to get that interrupt once again. Yes, Dahaka is getting the soak in the top lane, which could become meaningful. But Junkrat showing mid means they've basically conceded their control at this point. Yes, Dahaka could brush Stalker in, but Alheim should be able to get the channel here.
Yep. PSISTORM perfectly playing aggressive when they see those numbers somewhere else on the map. Nice job by them, but at the same time, No Tomorrow are inching forward when it comes to a structural advance. Now they're taking the Sapper camp on the top lane for the second time here. Jin starting this one, getting a couple of those grenades from Junkrat as well to assist in the capture. And that's just going to continue to just push them ahead on the top side of the map. Yes, the top side isn't the most important thing in this game, but still that wall down does mean something, Jacob.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it just opens opportunities for you. These Sappers are getting a ton of damage onto the bell tower. That's insane value that we typically don't see that early on. Now, yes, it's netting them very little experience overall. They do have the 10 lead for another moment here and looking to potentially invade the camp. 10 has been scooped up. But without Ural and Phoenix, they just cannot afford to do this.
Jin is here, gonna look for a drag. Stronger stepping up. Does he get on the point? The drag actually stops it from happening.
Hyperion?
Here comes the Hyperion.
Big damage on the Thompson with the Lightning Breath going out, but the Sound Barrier is going to keep him alive. Cocoon keeping Enevere away, and they managed to get out with their bodies intact.
That's a 3-for-3 heroic trade there, but that's the sort of aggression that No Tomorrow are allowed to make. They've got that Dahaka, they've got this Anub, they can really be making those plays, so I like the fact that they even attempted it there, you know, stealing away the camp, not getting any kills for themselves, but you put PSISTORM onto the back foot.
Yep. No, that was very well done, forcing out a lot of those long cooldowns as well.
Soul's done now.
That's going to be good for Diablo.
Yep.
Having that reset button. Anubarak just kind of lingering in the top half, wants to continue to push that lane in. And if he sticks around a little bit longer, if this is an extended phase over this bottom altar, I mean, we could see that bell tower going down from a couple waves of minions just getting pushed forward. Something they really got to be aware of, and Yrel is going straight for the fight here. Brushstalker, not sure what the cooldown is right now.
Go with a little bit of an engagement here. Stronger, trying to get aggressive. Meanwhile, Jin still represented top. Perhaps we're going to see a Brushstock on the backside of this fight. We are seeing it. They are going to look to make a force here. There goes the Burrow.
The Burrows and the Riptide are going to get Alheim and get a lot of damage. And we see Raynor going down from the blow, but Hamster with a sliver of HP still alive in the back.
Hisco is stepping up, getting some damage, but his shields have been depleted here. So No Tomorrow should be able to step up with that kill onto Raynor and secure another altar for themselves, putting PSISTORM at 28 shots here. A little bit of a lead for No Tomorrow. But, you know, you've got the kills, you've got the altars. Immediately you have your off lane into the side lane there, soaking up, you're picking up a tower. This experience lead is starting to creep up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at that engage. Like, it was just so well done by No Tomorrow. They had the Brushstalker with the Riptire primed at the same time. Anubarak burrowed forward to just kind of confirm the hit and set that all up. Like, they're coming from 3 angles at once. It's very difficult to compete with that.
To me, No Tomorrow have looked pretty darn good. You know, the last time that really saw them play was against Endemic, and they played fantastic in that series, and we're seeing a little bit more synergy from this team in this game. Meanwhile, topside, a little bit of a skirmish here. Enevere is Yrel, so she's going to be perfectly fine in this engagement. There's the Shadow Charge. Onto Akaface, he's in a lot of trouble, and Lucio goes down.
Okay, and that's, you know, exactly what we tend to see out of PSISTORM. They find those mid-fight shadow charges to kind of confirm that kill. That's where they really kind of exceed in a lot of situations, getting those blow-ups, and that's exactly what we need to see more of out of them.
And you and I were talking about the matchup between Diablo and Lucio, and that's what we saw there. Jin now caught out the Shadow Charge lands.
Okay, Dahaka is in a terrible spot here. He does have the essence, a lot of self-sustain. And if you're jumping in, but it is well dodged. The drag comes in, and he's going to be able to get out. Very well played by Jin.
Most of the times that sentence is true. Jin is such an all-star on this team. No. NSJ, though, getting caught out on the bottom side of the map, and that's a tragedy.
Yep.
Sappers now going over to No Tomorrow on the bottom side of the map. So, yes, top side is picked up for PSISTORM, but this is much more beneficial for No Tomorrow. This might even be the bottom fort play. You have 6 Sappers running bottom side with a little bit of damage onto that fort already. This is a big momentum swing for No Tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have it. Greymane staying bottom. The top Sappers aren't really that much of a threat to the wall. Dahaka was able to deal with some of the pressure. And yes, that's going down very quickly.
absolutely massive momentum swing here for No Tomorrow. We are seeing 28 to 24, but the big thing is No Tomorrow, you have the global and you have bottom fort. PSISTORM Gaming are going to have a difficult time trying to secure that one back.
They haven't even gotten a single wall down yet, and I think there's, what, 2 full walls down, pressure on the top bell tower. Dahaka still positioned up there, forcing Urel to stay. And yes, this is just scary to dance around this space because of how easy it is to hold that bottom bell tower.
Got 13s here online, of course. The talent of choice, Harsh Discipline for the white main, so she's got some of that CC additional lockdown. Meanwhile, drag landing on Enavir topside. Jin, the tongue master here, landing them always onto this Urel, pulling her into these tower shots. Even though it doesn't, net a kill or anything like that, it just shows his prowess on this hero. That's the reason why they're first picking hits.
Committing 4 members to the top, keeping stronger in the shadows, just kind of watch the rotation while they had Phoenix lingering around the bottom. But I mean, No Tomorrow's missing 0 beats right now. They kept Junkrat around mid-bottom so that he could make sure the lane was pushed out, not losing that bell tower. It's a huge advantage for them. They're about to lock in level 16. Everything is going the way No Tomorrow wants it to.
Absolutely here. Got a little bit of hovering mid. No Tomorrow, of course, not wanting to force a fight when they are so very close to the level 16. There's the Shadow Charge stronger, flipping over Jin. How many Essence do you have? There's the root with Harsh Discipline, but the members of No Tomorrow are showing up.
Yeah, the root was good, but not enough. Very hard here to kill. We do see Hyperion and Lightning Breath both going out here, committing to what they thought would be a full-on fight, but that was a cocoon for 2 very long cooldowns.
Especially that Hyperion, Jake. That is a massive trade in advantage of No Tomorrow. You've got the heroic advantage and the talent tier advantage. This is not really a fight that PSISTORM can take.
Boy.
Meanwhile, though, jumps in his Enavir pops. The heroics is going to be okay for now, but this isn't going to last too long.
Junkrat just used the bomb to get up here in time. We're going to see his damage coming over the wall just a moment. He does have the Riptire available as well. So if we see any clumping at all, it could be disastrous here for the side of PSISTORM Gaming. Looking at Jin, getting him to pop the Essence early, still have the opportunity to continue contesting that point, but 16 to 15, not worth it.
Of course, during this late game, that's really when Lucio's healing starts to amp up, if you will. So as we move forward into this game, No Tomorrow are going to have more sustain. Their composition continues to grow in strength. Of course, Casanova with that globe talent as well, looking pretty good. Here we go, Jake.
They're committing to the Riptire, trying to get the big damage. We do see the Suppression Pulse going out. Very well done.
Urel top this entire time, so nice job to pick up that soak. Using that Divine Steed to just run from mid to top to try to be that double soak for your team. PSISTORM Gaming, Jake, they need to hit 16. They need to force a fight because they are just too far down when it comes to all of these advantages that No Tomorrow have taken from them.
It's tough. I mean, honestly, they're trying to find their way back in. The 16 window is actually going to be pretty big in terms of the amount of time they have to kind of catch up before 20 comes into play, which is the one thing they have going for them. And Towers of Doom, it's not over till it's over. It's the one map where a late game definitely can just swing in your favor. It doesn't matter how far you're behind on the HP of your core.
E-Punks proved that to us earlier today, so we'll see if the same sort of story occurs here in North America. 16's now online for PSISTORM. We've got the talents locked in. Painting them red is that Rainer. What's it going to be, PSISTORM? Are you going to force a fight here onto this bottom fort? Jin's still topside. Enavir flirting with the idea of diving.
I feel like domination might be one of the things that bring this game back in line for PSISTORM if there's anything. It's just going to come down to Stronger being able to make the big plays, set up the kills for the Phoenix. I mean, we've seen some pretty good Purification salvos, putting out a lot of damage. They've been syncing them up with Lightning Breath and the Hyperion as much as they can. But Sound Barrier has been the answer thus far.
Pinging now is Stronger into this bush. What I've loved seeing so far from No Tomorrow is the fact that they just, speaking of which, instant blow up on a Nubrak. Stronger finding that engagement. Akaface is also taking so much damage. He goes down too. That's a 2 for nothing, and PSISTORM Gaming just blow this game wide open.
Yeah, exactly like that. It's all about Stronger finding those hard engages for the team to be able to snap up that kill. Getting a triple kill, a little bit staggered here, about 12 seconds behind. Reclaiming their bottom bell tower. They are back in it.
This is PSISTORM Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. If this is your first time tuning into one of their games, they are explosive. They're the ones who run that one-shot style composition. Diablo, excellent engage there. Finding the kill onto a Nubarak. Fantastic job by PSISTORM, but is it enough?
Well, it's a good start regardless. I mean, 8 HP remaining, definitely not the best situation in the world, but they're looking to reclaim some control of the map here, looking at the bottom bell tower, conceding their control of top. Sappers plus Junkrat Dahaka means they will likely lose it, but they have Urel and Phoenix. They can at least clean it up in this moment while the bottom wall goes down. What do you think about putting Phoenix in the top with Urel versus just confirming the bottom bell tower for yourself?
I thought it was a good idea to begin with because it forced the rotation from Junkrat back, but they needed to rotate faster. Now the Cocoon does land onto Stronger. He's going to be in trouble here.
Jin's going to have the drag. They have the bomb in place as well, so this is going to look tough. The cleanse comes through perfectly, but the drag is there for the follow-up. Penetrating round is going to be able to help with the sustain here. Stronger staying alive. Elheim with the big heals, turning around the lightning breath. The root coming in from Whitemane, and then Enivir has the knockback. Jin gets Shadow Charge in the wall. The flip should be available, but no. Soundbarrier coming through, denying all of that damage from Purification Salvo, but Stronger is getting very low. The Riptire is going to do a lot of damage. The shield's coming through from Whitemane, providing that big armor.
Elheim playing out of his mind here. No deaths in that skirmish, despite the fact that Psystorm were playing underneath the fort. Stronger surviving in this tussle. Psystorm Gaming are down 4 heroics to 4 as well. Enivir starting that channel.
Yeah, and Jeshurte gets the channel as well. That's only 4 HP remaining here on the side of Psystorm Gaming, giving that up. I'm surprised that they were willing to just concede the HP.
Yeah, I really think that that was something that Psystorm Gaming needed to make sure did not happen, because now they've put themselves in a scenario where one misstep, Jake, means
anything.
it's game.
Yeah,
exactly. Even a single kill, you can force that because you have Cocoon on your side of No Tomorrow. You get a kill into Psystorm? Sure. Then just go force a 4v3 with that Cocoon.
Okay.
But Stronger finds the engage.
Oh, turning over to Dahaka, still has the burrow. Here comes the Cocoon. But it looks like it's just going to be a safe disengage. Sappers should be grabbed here and stolen by Psystorm.
I can feel the anger from Psystorm. They want to win this so bad. No Tomorrow, though, are a formidable opponent, doing such a great job here in this game number 1 on towers. They're so far ahead. Psystorm need to make some plays. They have to make something happen.
Jeshurte able to just really blow up those minions very quickly at this point in the game. But the experience lead does favor Psystorm on that quest to 20.
Yep. Next altar phase, of course, is a double altar phase. So there are 3 things that No Tomorrow can do to secure the victory here. We'll see if they find one of them. But as you mentioned, Psystorm are closer to that level 20 point. You know, not a crazy amount, but still something. Altar's now active in 30 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, can Psystorm make the defense?
Nobody No Tomorrow stepping out too far to be picked off on their own. You know, Junkrat's hard to pick off. Jin on this Dahaka, they've tried to gank him several times and have just failed in that top lane gank attempt. Stronger does juke the tongue, gets the flip, has the shadow charge.
Jin
Okay.
manages to escape to safety here. 20's online, of course. Psystorm, they need to get super aggro right here, right now, because No Tomorrow are closing that gap as well.
This is huge. Phoenix gets it for free because of the 20 advantage. They're not willing to commit. So right now, this kind of patient play from No Tomorrow paying off here for Psystorm. They're able to regroup and fight over this next point.
This is going to be it. We got pings coming out. Dahaka on the top side. It's going to be all right in this situation.
Jin's going to have to use Essence. Yeah, there it goes. Essence has been burned already in this fight. It's a big deal. He's a little bit more vulnerable with that off the table. Enivir's quite low, though. The shield's going away from Skoa. Big damage from that Greymane Junkrat. Lightning Breath in the deep side, making sure he's not vulnerable to the CC at all. Allowing Urel to jump in. Shadow Charge onto Jin, and that's going to be a kill.
The beat drop did very little. Here comes the Riptire, though. Casanova looking to make an engage. Urel is in the Cocoon. NSJ is taking so much damage, but another kill going over to Psystorm Gaming. That's 2 down. Hiskwa has very little shield or health and shielding at this point, but this is the cap going over to Psystorm. They find the aggression. They find the kills.
NSJ living there, I just can't believe it. Absolutely wonderful here for the side of Psystorm Gaming, getting back into things. But the re-engage, 3v5 right now, stalling. 40 seconds before we do see that Dahaka and the Greymane coming back online.
Akaface dropped the beat so early in that skirmish, and it made it so that Jin basically died off of his burrow. He had very little essence running, so he was in a lot of trouble. And now Psystorm Gaming, bottom is so low. Stronger needs to be very, very careful here.
Okay, the burrow in, and he has very little to get out of this. It is level 20, so rewind might be off cooldown.
No Tomorrow doing such a good job in a 3v5 defense. Jay Schritt just stopping those caps from coming through. You would expect PSISTORM Gaming to just be able to step up and start their caps, but they want a fort down, but they are wasting a lot of time.
Yeah,
they have bodies here to get this cap, but they're just not willing to do it. Casanova stepping up a little bit.
All right, they're spinning the Hyperion because this gives that safe point for the Junkrat to continue to stall over the wall, but everyone's back online. We do see Greymane en route right now, and this is going to be another 5v5 fight. Cooldowns with Hyperion off the table for 90 seconds. That's a huge resource that they do not have available, but Enevir will get the cap.
Yeah, Jay Schritt just not quite able to find that one. We got 185 stacks on Taste for Explosions here, folks, so Jay Schritt's damage is really starting to ramp up, especially with that cannonball at level 20. Jake, this is close. This is Towers of Doom.
Yeah, anything can happen at this point in the game. Oh, and the blow up once again. It's all coming down to stronger snap engage for PSISTORM. And this is a full minute where they are in complete control.
I love this Diablo pick against the Lucio. Again, we talked about this matchup so many times, and Stronger is showing why they picked it. Now PSISTORM Gaming are forcing onto this boss topside. They took another altar. This is so huge. Keep in mind, No Tomorrow do have the Cocoon. They could step up to try to do something, but that would be extremely risky.
Yeah, without your support,
Yeah.
that's a little bit all in. Could
throw the
cost them
game.
the game.
Yeah.
So they're going to give it up. We are now 5-4 left on the HP. Towers of Doom. It is just the best map in the game.
And dude, this is a single altar spawning too. If PSISTORM hang on to this fort, they have opened up the win condition for themselves, and I think this is a super reasonable thing to say. The only opportunity that No Tomorrow really have to change this scenario is having Jin take these top sappers. We see him start them right now. The top fort for PSISTORM Gaming is about 50% HP, so this could very well be a play that No Tomorrow look to make. Lucio is back, altars up in 20 seconds, Jake.
Junkrat's peppering as much damage as possible. We see Hiskoa working on these sappers as well to just get some threat on that bottom lane. A little bit easier to defend than the top ones, which should confirm that top bell tower for the side of No Tomorrow.
This top sapper camp is everything right now for No Tomorrow. But keep in mind, PSISTORM with the fort bottom side just picked up the sappers of their own. Here comes the Brush Stalker.
Yeah, pretty early in the fight, the Hyperion is keeping the team rotating around the side, and Stronger can't quite get in there for the burrow, but we see the burrow charge going in from that Casanova, not quite connecting on anyone, but getting him where he wants to be. They're going to be able to clean up that Cocoon, and Jin is in a bad spot, jumping in, gets the burrow, but they get the blow up on Junkrat in the back.
Stronger! He finds the kill. Jin is the next target. He's going to have a shadow charge as well. Dahaka goes down. PSISTORM Gaming find 2 kills in this fight.
Big burrow onto 2, but Urel is going to be there. We see big heals coming up from Whitemane, and just like that, the opportunity to get the win is in the hands of PSISTORM. Well, the Sapper made it through in the bottom, and that's game.
Elheim with the channel. Boom, bang. Down goes the core, and PSISTORM Gaming pick up game number 1 on Towers of Doom.
Whew. What did we say? You know, it all comes down to this Diablo at the end of the day. A lot of big plays were made across the board. We saw No Tomorrow with the dominant engage at level 10, right? They just looked like the better team with the level 10 heroics. But once Diablo came online at level 16, with just the beefy power of that charge, the reset, and then the charge again, they were able to find so many more plays to set up those kills.
And he's such a strong Diablo player. You can't ban out his heroes. Like, it's just not going to happen. You want to take the Anubarak away from Stronger, he'll body you on the Diablo. You want to ban off the Diablo, he'll pull out the Stormbolts and he'll beat you down with those too. PSISTORM Gaming found those fights, found those kills. And you were talking about the story of, you know, playing behind on Towers of Doom. Sometimes you can find the victories, and folks, found it here.
Again,
Gaming.
second time today where we just saw the comeback coming in late into the game, and they played the game perfectly, and that was No Tomorrow, as far as we can tell, trying to steal the draft of PSISTORM to make PSISTORM look uncomfortable. Because frankly, when we initially looked at PSISTORM Gaming, when they moved to North America to compete, they looked very linear in their picks, right? Their hero pools looked really bad. They looked really linear, just not flexible at all. But since they've been here, they've been working so hard, living and breathing Heroes of the Storm. Like, they live together. They're eating breakfast. They're talking about strategies. They're talking about meta. They're talking about what kind of crazy drafts they could bust out in the middle of a best-of-7 series. And we could see that today.
We've seen them do it before in the past. I don't want to spoil any compositions that this team runs, but they run some pretty wild stuff on some specific maps. So make sure you stay tuned to check out those ones. But yeah, PSISTORM is not a team that you can just beat in the draft or just remove heroes from the draft and make them just not be able to play. Certainly not. You've just got to beat them in every aspect. And so far, PSISTORM is the better team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a wonderful turnaround. And I have no idea what to expect out of them in this series, right? Because we look at them as a team that excels in blow-up compositions. And when they played in playoffs, Tyrande wasn't a thing. The Tyrande rework, she wasn't in the meta. Who did we see banned there? Tyrande.
Yep.
Right? That was the ban from No Tomorrow at the opening of the draft. Made perfect sense because that is where they're going to excel.
I completely agree. I've seen the likes of Elheim on that hero, and it is not something that you want to play against. So the ban is definitely appropriate here. But as far as the draft goes, I do feel like No Tomorrow did get what they wanted. They played their early game super well. Their misplays were, like some of those team fights, the beat drop way too early, resulting in a death of Jhin. And when it's that late in the game, you got those 60-second death timers, Psystorm will take everything from you, and that's exactly what we saw. We saw a lot of misplays on the side of supports for No Tomorrow. They've got to shape up.
Yeah, it wasn't just that, though. The fact that we saw Phoenix be able to burn down Dahaka to half HP, Jhin burned his essence before the fight even started.
Exactly.
Right, and that's huge. That's half your HP gone before the fight's even relevant. And they recognized that and just blew him up.
Yeah, and I love the synergies that the heroics that Psystorm had that played into account. You've got that Salvo and Lightning Breath. You've got the Hyperion as well, doing so much damage in just those closed-off fights. So I loved everything that Psystorm brought.